day people have been calling me all over the country and even abroad, congratulating me on Eid. One of my friend called me from Chandigarh, and he's a great psychiatrist, and he Brigadier Harp Singh, and he started explaining me uh, the kind of times we are passing through these days, Corona times. He said he's too busy, almost entire countrymen all over, everybody in such gloom, as if they're going through a nervous breakdown. And interestingly, for 10-15 minutes he spoke and he gave me all the details, he in a very crystal form, what is this nervous breakdown. And whatever I heard, I thought I must share with you all. My friend, all the nervous breakdowns, he said, have certain common elements in common. He says the core of a nervous breakdown is anxiety, a condition of heightened tension. You know how tensed we are, everybody is waiting for their deadline, meeting their creator. So it's a condition of heightened tension accompanied by overpowering a feeling of apprehension. Without apparent reason, we all have, we know that. Without not very apparent reasons, we all have anxieties, our own anxieties. These days we have common anxiety, Corona. Because everybody is calling their shots in here. Nobody knows what the hell it is and what is going, how is ultimately we will be able to protect ourselves and when we will bid farewell to this nonsense called COVID-19. But all anxieties, their causes are usually forgotten. He says another common element in all the breakdowns is the future of defense, the total future in dark, and the other method is displacement. Here the upsetting emotion we feel towards one person are concealed by working them off on the other. The salesman hates his boss but can't admit it, so he picks a fight with his wife. Another method of warding off anxiety is called denial. Simply a blind refusal to accept that problem exists. It is actually the end result of a gradual decline taking place over weeks or even months. It is actually progressive. It's a progressive, I would say, inability to cope up with the anxiety. And the warning systems are clearly visible all along the way, but you simply denied. My friend, all breakdowns are caused by stress, often physical and social as well as mental. There is a limit to human tolerance of stress, and every man has his breaking point. It depends. How versatile is he, how deeper he or she understands life, and how bold, courageous he or she is, and how strong he or she is to withstand the vagaries. Now the question comes, how can we tell when we are heading for trouble? My friend, the first sign is generally a prolonged feeling of being vaguely unwell, below par. At the same time, we may experience annoying physical ailments, tensions, restlessness, persistent fatigue, insomnia. We may develop more crippling symptoms, severe headaches, palpitations of the heart, dizziness, gastronomical disorders, and even muscular pains. My friend, a warning system more rapidly apparent to others than to ourselves is a marked change in anyone's personality. Either an intensification of a character trait or an abrupt reversal in behavior. The same technique all the wives applies on their husband. They just know. A slight change, they just know there is something wrong and they catch it. And husbands keeps bloody bewildering and confused how the hell she knows. Women are the greatest psychologists and the psychiatrist, I feel. A shy person may become more shy. An outgoing person may become exuberant and rattle on along unrealistic schemes. On the other hand, a person who has been neat and orderly all his life may grow careless and slovenly, sluggish. The important fact is the change itself, my friend. If the emotional disturbances develop unchecked, the next step may well be a breaking point. Though when I asked him, now you tell me what are the chances of avoiding a nervous breakdown? He said, excellent. All authorities agree, particularly if the disturbance is recognized and resolves in its early times, in its early stages. He says in most instances, changes in behavior occur quite early in the development of an emotional illness. The altered behavior pattern usually affects the individual on the job. And once breakdown occurs, recovery depends on the complexity and depth of the disturbance, the patient's desire to get well, and the advocacy of the treatment. My friend, most breakdowns can be cured, he says. He is convinced about it. But it is better not to have one in the first place. So, if we recognize in ourselves symptoms that are making us or others unhappy, we should immediately help. A good place to start, my friend, is the family. Doctors or even clergymen. In the early stages of emotional trouble, a candid talk with this systematic listener may be all we need. That's it. A nice friend, a close relative, somebody who can hear you quietly. That's a great remedy, he says. As individuals, we might try to handle better the stresses of life. He was very clear in explaining. Every problem of frustration which is faced realistically and dealt with in an organized way adds to the strength of the personality, he says. Every failure from which a lesson has been learned. My friend, the most important day of my life is the day when you stop trying to set the world on fire and accept myself. I cannot. I am no God. The good and the bad, the strength and the weaknesses, for whatever I am, I accept it simply. These seems little things, and they are, but they help us accept the truth that might have been hard to be afraid of. As we learn this, my friend, we grow on path. We grow in straight, and most importantly, we grow in our capacity to love. Just have no fear. Take the best precautions, but there is no need for anyone to go on a nervous breakdown thinking about the doomsday. Every night has a morning. There is nothing which stays permanently. That's the beauty of the life. Life is too dynamic, and let me tell you, my friend, this too shall pass. Thank you very much.